So welcome to Rehan's QA Academy. So we from Rehan's QA Academy we used to teach. You name any testing tool that is available in the market. So we are the pioneers in that in teaching all the testing tools that are available in the market. So hence we are going to be call it as like a hub of testing tools. So now the agenda for this demo session is like to speak about automation testing in Python. So what type of automation testing that we can able to perform an application using your Python as a programming language. So now for that we designed a program called Python SDET training. So where you are going to learn all the phases of the application right from the development phase to the testing phase. So what are the levels that you are going to be test appropriately, and what are the different ways that we can able to implement your testing levels in each layer of the application and identify your bugs. So here in this demonstration we'll come to know, so what is meant by SDET, what is his roles, and what I am going to learn by the end of this course. So we'll discuss these details in detail. Okay. Now, so coming to the trainer, right? So who is going to teach you? So my name is Pratap. I have around 13 years of experience into IT industry. So I worked with CTS, Wipro, Accenture, EPAM, and DBS. And I hold my masters from BITS Pilani, and I did my graduation in computer science. And I worked as system architect, working as system architect. And I'm experienced in 7 programming languages like Java, C Sharp, Python, JavaScript, VB.NET, Ruby Rails. And I do work as a architect in intelligent automation in RPA, robotics process automation. And I trained more than 700 plus students so far. So that is about myself. And let's start with your course and what we are going to cover as part of this entire duration of the course. So how are you going to make a progress on this? So right, when the people come and approach me most of the times, right, not only the people, right? So though you are going to work or you're not going to work, I found most of the people who are working, right, who wants to upskill themselves from manual testing to automation testing, are people who wants to get a job having some gaps in the career lattice, any category. So people from manual testing are people who is not having any job. I used to ask the first question, right? How good your programming language? So what is the rating that you can able to give out of 5? What is your rating? Where you stands in? Right? People used to answer me like, Pratap, like we don't have any knowledge over the coding and we have zero knowledge in that. And I asked most of the manual testers, why you sit for a long time in the manual testing? Why can't you move towards your automation? What makes you to stop there? Obviously, I used to get different responses from different people saying that the only one reason is coding factor, coding as a fear factor. So there are many reasons, guys. There are many reasons that where it becomes an obstacle for every individual user who wants to learn any coding programming language. So they used to get frightened saying that we are not strong in the coding and we don't want to learn this coding and we want to sit in the manual testing only. As I am not strong in the in this coding area, so I didn't get a job in the right time. So I have a lot of gap in my career. So right, I found these type of responses from the multiple people when I start meeting the people across the geos, right? So be it be India, Canada, US, UK, even from Singapore. So right, these are the common response or common answer that I used to get from each one of the individual. Coding, coding, coding. Coding is going to be a big a big obstacle for me, big bottleneck for me. Now we are from Rehan's QA Academy to eliminate this bottleneck in your career lattice, and I want to make you to be from zero level to the hero level. I want to make you to be a master in the coding language. Utilize your coding language, utilize your programming language, and start go and test your application. So why I want to learn testing? So you take any application that we develop on any programming language. So once there is an application that is going to be developed and evolving in the market, there should be a proper testing need to be carried out. So this testing is going to be called as validation of your application behavior and validate that behavior is correct or not. If it is working as per the expectations, then we call it as a that particular module is working correctly. If it is not working correctly, then we are going to tell that there is some issue in that, and that issue we are going to be call it as defect. The agenda of the testing is going to be called as identifying the application where there is bugs available or not. So to carry out this process, we have two types of approach. One is going to be called as manual testing. Another is going to be called as your automation testing, where we all know about these two terms. Now, in this course, I'm not going to be touch anything of your manual testing. We're going to give more focus on your automation testing. But in between, where there is a chance of understanding the concepts of manual testing concepts, right? And definitely I'll go on to that and I'll make you to explain like what are these manual testing concepts that are available, how can we understand it properly. Okay, so now when I ask you to do automation testing, right, this automation testing will definitely demands you to have a programming language in hand. So that is the reason, right, most of the manual tester are still sitting in the same chair, not moving towards your automation testing. Reason, coding is one of the biggest barrier for them. So now let's try to eliminate these barriers. So what are the tips that we are going to do? So first understand what are the reasons that make you to get fear towards your programming language. So when I understand, right, when I understand about this programming language is must and necessary. Yes, without having a programming language, there is no any automation tool that is available. Okay, so now keeping that in mind, we want to learn this programming language as a mandatory and a necessary entity for us in our career lattice. So that I request every one of you not to give up for any reason, right? Don't give up for any reasons. Keep reading, guys. Keep reading for anything, right? So I'm going to give a road plan. I'm going to give a road map how to make the things understand very easily, and how can I make the things to get very easily, and how can I implement those things in the programming language. Okay, so all we want to remember here, we should never give up for any programming language, be Java, Python, JavaScript, anything, right? You should learn very smartly such that, right, we can able to understand the programming language very easily. Okay, so now let's see that the reasons why people are running away. The first reason, right, people thinks it's too difficult. Though, let me take an example. Let's Pratap is going to feel difficult to understand the programming language. So when I went and asked Pratap, right, what make you to make to think difficult? Did you experience it? Did you taste it? No, right? So then he's telling that one of my friend came and told me that programming language is very difficult. So as he told me that the programming language is going to be very difficult, still I'm in that mood that why it is difficult, as it is going to be very difficult, why should I learn it? This guy doesn't know whether the programming language is difficult or not. He did not even experience that. Someone has told him and he found that it is going to be difficult. Why should I make my mind to be keep in the difficult mode? So he stopped reading that. No, guys. So if you start understanding the programming language, that is going to be very easy. Okay, so they think that though I'm going to mug up all the concepts, I can't able to implement, and definitely I'm going to be fail. So don't be negative motivated, right? Always try to keep yourself to be positive motivation, then you can able to understand the concept easily, you can able to implement that easily. Okay, so now people think that I have a lot of gap in my career, now it is too late, man, I don't want to learn it now, right? Let me continue with this my old process. So no, right, though there is a gap available, if there is a person make you to understand what is the concept, where I'm going to be implement this, how I'm going to use this particular concept in a real time world, if there is a mentor available, a right mentor available for you, right, he is going to guide you what is correct, what is wrong. When he is there, right, why you want to worry about that? So don't take there is a gap available. So recently, right, in the lockdown, there is a woman who is age about 45 years from Kerala. She completed around 15 programming language in this lockdown period, and again she got a job now. Come on, we are not that aged, right? We need to learn it. Okay, so now they think they are not meant to code. The reason is telling that Pratap, I came from civil background, man. Pratap, I came from mechanical background. Pratap, I came from chemical engineering. So it is out of my stream. As I came from different background, right? I think I'm not meant to code, nothing. So a textile engineering candidate is working under me. She is doing her data science. A physiotherapist is writing his machine learning algorithms, right? So the world is running too fast. So come out of that mind and think that we have a career gap, we have some other background. No, those are bullshit reasons. We have to throw away it. Okay. So now having these reasons, right? Most of the people, we ourselves, right? We are making ourselves to sit in the back bench, not to learn anything. So these are the major reasons I found that people are feeling that coding is going to be a biggest barrier for them. Now we need to eliminate it. How we are going to eliminate that, right? So we are from Rehan's QA Academy, right? We are going to lay a good foundation for you to understand any programming language on your fingertips. We'll guide you. We just won't teach the concept. We just won't teach the concept. We'll make you to understand what is that concept, what is the behavior of that concept, what is the input for that particular concept, and what is the output of that particular concept, and where I am going to implement this. Not only to understand that, but also we make the candidate to implement by his own. We are going to give a progressive assignments to him, and we are going to track the candidate whether he is able to complete the task on time or not. If you are feeling the task is going to be difficult, raise your questions, because you are not going to get this course for free of cost. You are paying something. As a consumer, you have every right to ask the provider. So we are the providers to give a quality training. If you are lagging with any concept, right, stop then and there. Ask us, like, Pratap, we are not able to catch this concept, we are not able to complete this particular task. Raise your questions. So only if you are able to show your the way how you code, then only I can able to address the mistake that you are going to do in the real time. So then I'm going to clear your issues then and there, and will make the model to go forward. Okay. So we are going to put a strong foundation layer for you on the programming side. So first we are going to keep more attention, we are going to pay more attention towards your learning of programming language. So don't think that in 30 days I want to complete my course. Don't think that like that. So though there is going to be some extension that is going to be happen on your curriculum, it is all about your learning only, right? So now we are going to provide n number of tasks for you. We need to crack it out and understand like what is the purpose of each and every concept where I'm going to implement that. So once you are able to complete this 1 month of programming training from us, then we will be shifting our track towards your test automation engineering. So where I'm going to use this concept, where I'm going to use this particular concept on my test automation. So where this particular concept is going to be helpful for me, then we'll start doing one-to-one mapping with your test application process, right? So now we are going to provide a quality training for you to make and understand your coding levels perfectly. We are going to arrest all your bottlenecks. We are going to have a free hands-on on the programming side. We are going to do the end-to-end process of your application development. We are going to do end-to-end testing of your application, right? So now let's see that how we are going to start your curriculum and how we are going to proceed further. So like we understand like what are the reasons that making me to not to learn the code, and the same time, right, we'll understand here how we are going to mitigate it. That's what I told you. In the Rehan's Q Academy, right, we are going to provide a quality training. So when we are providing the quality training, right, as an engineer, as a student, what you want to do here is listen carefully, understand them. So while you are trying to listen something, right, take a note and write it down. So write a highlights of the course, that what highlights of the particular module, particular topic, and have a small snippets of that. So anyhow, we are going to provide a HD video to you, right? Even though we are going to provide the HD video, if you have this notes that you have been written by you, right, that will be make you to easy to understand. You can able to recollect. Yes, at this particular point, Pratap has taught us. At this particular point, Pratap has showed this example. So that will be very easy for you, right? So first listen, try to understand the concept, and then think where I'm going to use this particular concept. Why should I go and use this particular concept? If I'm not going to use this concept, what are the problems that I'm going to be faced? Is there any alternative approach for writing this logic? So you have to think in n dimensional ways. So how, where, why, when, who. If you are able to answer these questions right, ultimately we can able to understand the concept. So this first part is going to make you to eliminate that by harding of the concept. Don't hard code your code. So don't pump all the concept into your mind just like that. Understand, think, analyze, then go and implement it. Right? So once you are able to complete this first part, then see like how should I go and code it programmatically. As Pratap has told us, this is the syntax. So syntaxes are very, very much important. As we already completed the first side, right? Then come to second side and try to implement the syntax and start coding by your own. Then execute it, observe what is the outcome that is coming there. Always try to give the wrong values to that particular code and see what is the exception that you are going to get. And if you are going forward, right, if anywhere you come across this is the exception or this is the problem or this is the issue that comes occur, then you can able to imagine immediately, yes, while I'm doing my practicing, I got this issue because something is going wrong. I can able to go and do my code arrest easily, right? So once you have to observe the behavior very good. Okay, so once you observe your output, right, then go and implement, then go and think that implementation of this particular concept in a real-time world. So in my project, where should I go and implement this? In what kind of situation I need to write this logic? In what kind of model I want to write this particular logic? So once if I able to do this slide 1 and slide 2, right, then obviously I can able to make my coding as a easy factor for me. So then definitely, right, from zero to become a hero, your path is going to be very much clear, right? So the major principles is listen carefully, understand, think, code, observe, and implement. So right, these are the 6 successful mantras that you are having in your hand to make as a good programmer, to become a good programmer, right? Keep these things in your mind and start learning your concept, right? So if you ask me like Pratap, for teaching or telling these slides is very good, man. Is there any successful factors you have? So I have hundreds of stories, guys. So for an example, here, these are the examples that we have. So as a faculty, right, I always choose the people who doesn't have anything. And I used to groom them in a such a way where people can go and face the interviews, where people can go and get a job on themselves, right? So I have candidates, success of stories I have across the geos, people who got trained under me are settled in a good position now, right? For example of that, these are the screenshots that I'm going to post on my slide now. So there are hundreds of stories, right? So recently, right, I trained a guy, so whose age is around 45, 50 years. In India, we have a age factor. In India, we have, if the people is going to shift the company more than 13 years, getting an opportunity is little difficult. But whereas in UK or if you go for other states, other countries, right, we don't have that age factor then. So a guy who came from altogether from different background, so he trained me more than 3 months, and now he is working a senior automation engineer with good package, right? He is the one, right, who motivated me a lot, right? So there is no any age limit factor for learning. You should have all you want here is your commitment, your dedication, and you should have a strong motive of learning. If we have those, right, we can able to learn anything. So age is not going to be a factor. Age is just a number. Okay, so right, we used to conduct every week periodically, we used to conduct a mock interviews, right? So you learn a concept and you want to see like how strong you are in that particular area, right? Just write us. We are going to conduct a free mock interview over the weekend and make it to tell you that in which area you are strong and in which area you are going weak. Okay, so now let's start with your programming side. The course and the agenda that you are speaking on, we'll see that. So as I said you, right, we are going to give the training as SDET. So now this current market is expecting the individual to be not only a automation engineer, but also he should be strong on the development side also. He should know about how the application is going to be developed. he should know how the developer is going to code the application. He should know, right, how the application inner layers are going to be work. He should know how the data is being fetched by the application from the database. So it means that as an individual, I should know about both the development process as well as my testing process also. So SDET is going to work called as software engineer, software development engineer in testing. So he's going to perform both software testing as well as the quality assurance job along with the development skills, right? He should know about all this process of the application. So he's not only going to do the test, develop the application, but also he's going to break the application. He know how the front end UI is going to build on. At the same time, he know how the data is being fetched from the back end to the front end. He is going to write the unit test cases and is going to be help the developers not to test the application, and he is going to take care of the development testing also. Once the developer codes something, right, he won't make the developer to test it. He is going to write his own scenarios on top of the development code, and you test that whether each and every scenario is working correctly or not. Okay, so now what happened here is, when the application is being developed itself, in the early stage only we are going to impose your testing practices. Now your code is going to be tested as soon as when the code is going to be developed, you are going to do the application testing. So which is nothing but your early automation, which is going to nothing but early testing, right? When you do your early testing, the identification of the bugs are going to be more. We can able to arrest most of the defects in the development phase itself. So that is the reason all the market is expecting as every automation engineer to be an SDET engineer. So taking that as a part, right, we started this curriculum. So now for this particular SDET program, we choose then the programming language as a Python. So why Python, Pratap? So Python is going to be called as a very easy programming language. So where a layman can also go and understand very easily, because it is very easy to learn and use. It has very less rules available. When you go for Java or when you go for C# programming language, right? We have a lot of coding principles that you need to keep in mind. There are a lot of rules and regulations. I am a layman. I don't have any programming language, but I want to go and do my test automation. How can I do that? Right? So now if I go and tell this every individual, keep this rule in the mind and start coding. If the rules are keep on increasing, right, this guy will get irritated. At one point of time, he's telling that coding is difficult. I don't want to make my candidate to go in that. So Python is the right programming for you, where we have very less number of rules. First thing. Second thing, how quickly you can able to adapt to it. So it means that the syntaxes should be very much catchy in the nature. Here, the syntaxes are going to be available as a generic English programming language, that whatever you are going to use in the normal English, the syntax are going to be very much same to that, right? And we have lots of packages available. Now, this programming language, if I'm going to use my Python as a programming language, you can able to go and develop your web applications using your Flask as a framework. You can able to go and develop your Windows-based application using your TK Inter. Okay. Using your Python, you can able to go and do your mobile automation testing. Using your Python, you can able to go and do your web application automation testing using Selenium. So we have multiple users, and major thing, your artificial intelligence algorithms can be run using your Python programming language. Now there are a lot of users. If I'm going to use my Python, right, I can able to crawl myself to any one of the area, either into development or into testing or as a data scientist or as an artificial intelligence engineer, anywhere, right? So it is going to, this programming language is matured and supportive across all the communities. So if you have any issue with the programming language, right, if you go and post a question in the community forum, you're going to get all the technical issues. 98.99% all the technical issues has been solved and available on the Google. We have a lot of forums to go and read, and self-learning accessibility is available on the Google now, right? So it is versatile, efficiency, reliable in the speed. And having all these factors, right, I'm going to choose this Python as my first programming language to go and do either development or testing. So that is the reason I consider my Python programming language for my students now. So now, what I'm going to learn? How should I go and take my testing process forward. So for that, I'm going to choose one of the model. Before going to that model, I want to make that how the web application architecture is going to look like. So every web application will be having two phases. One is going to be called as client, another is going to be called as web server. So what is meant by client and what is meant by web server? So client is nothing but a person who can able to go and interact, a person who can able to go and search something, right, on your browser. So anything that is visible for you in a web browser, right, we are going to be called as client. If I'm going to click on any register button, if I'm going to click on any search button, there should be some operation should be execute, right? I'm going to write some logics that all my logics are going to write on my server side. Okay, so that is going to be called as my web server. In this web server, we are going to write some business logics. These business logics are going to write in a service model, right? So now first the developer is going to develop this web services, this server side, and then he is going to bind this server with the client side. So how he is going to bind bind these two entities? So he is going to bind through a web service. So this web service is going to be available in a JSON format. Okay. Now in my course, I am going to show you how exactly this web server programming is going to code by the developer. How exactly I'm going to do my unit testing. How exactly I'm going to do my integration testing in the backend modules. How I'm going to connect a module by module. How I'm going to connect this entire web server to my database. How I'm going to fetch the data. How I'm going to validate the data. So first, my agenda is to cover 100% of my backend testing, and then once we complete this development plus testing, and then we are going to see how exactly we are going to do the testing on a web application using your Selenium. So when it comes to a web application to the Selenium, right, we are going to see about Selenium from scratch level to the advanced level. Here we are going to learn about how Python can able to use Selenium to test the application, where we are going to develop your automation scripts. So here we are going to see at least three frameworks. One is going to be called as PyTest is one of the unit test framework, and Robot framework is one of the RPA tool that is available developed on top of your Python, and BDD Cucumber, which is going to help you for agile model. So now for each and every closure, right, if I'm going to complete my Python, we are going to do a small snapshot project. Okay. Once I complete my API testing, web development is completed. Once I complete my Flask as a framework over there to develop any application, we are going to do a end-to-end project on your Flask along with your database. I want to test my web services are working correctly or not. There we are going to do one project. I want to test on my front end whether the data is populated correctly or not. There we are going to do one project. So whatever the models that we are going to be covered, what are the phases that we are going to be covered, right? For each and every phase, we are going to do one end-to-end project. Okay. So that is the high level of this web application architecture, and what we are going to be do, we are going to see now. So now we are going to see a principle called as test pyramid triangle, which is going to tell that don't go and test your application directly on the front end browser. First, understand how the developer is going to code. Perform your unit testing 100%. Check their code is running properly or not. Check their results are accurate or not. Once your results are accurate, then test whether the modules are communicating correctly or not. Where? In your backend only. So that is what we are going to implement your test pyramid model here. This pyramid model is telling that first developer develops some things. Don't allow your developer to go and test it. As a QA, you know how to test your application in all the possible ways, right? So write your own testing, unit testing code and test the developer code is working correctly or not. Once each and every level of code is working correctly, then go and do your integration of one module to the another module. Then go and do your end-to-end testing, right? On the backend side as well as on your front-end side. So now as part of this curriculum, right, as part of this course, we are going to see this entire test pyramid triangle principle. I will implement it and we'll going to complete each and every project. So on unit testing side, we are going to do one project. On integration test, we are going to do one project. On end-to-end, both the backend and the front end, we are going to do one project. So now, what are the roles that I'm going to do here, right? I have completed this. No, I want to face my project. I want to face my interviews. So definitely they'll be asking like what are the roles that have been performed there. So now here I'm going to tell that as a tester, I have a mindset, right? In curious to understand about the test scenarios. So as an individual, not only going to test the application, but also I have good knowledge in the development area. So I'm going to think that how the developer is going to code, and I am going to think that how to break that code. So my roles are going to be like that there. Okay. I have very good solid understanding of my testing principles and how to implement those testing principles on the application, to break the application, to test the application, to find the bug in my application. I'm going to import all my testing methodologies over there. So I'm going to help you in that too, how to keep all these things in your project now, right? I can able to apply appropriate test methods for a given scenario. So if the interview, right, if they're going to ask you any scenario, right, how can you able to derive the scenarios for that, for a use case, right? I'm going to help you in that, right? At the same time, you can able to code on yourself. You can able to, once you got a scenario, you can able to write your logic very easily. It means that you can able to develop your test scripts. So in this curriculum, we are going to help you to write your own test cases, right? So that is going to be on your API side, and that is going to be on your front end application using Selenium also. Okay. And apart from this, you are also going to know that how to maintain your code in the DevOps lifecycle. It means that you are going to learn some tools on your DevOps lifecycle, which is going to be called as Git, Maven, and Jenkins. So I'm going to teach you about these three: Git, Maven, and Jenkins, one of the three DevOps tools that are available in the market, and which is very hot in the market, where you can able to keep in your resume also. So these are the roles that I'm going to be covered as part of my curriculum. So once you are able to complete this, right, then you are going to be definitely from zero to the master level. Okay. So like, now what are the concepts that I'm going to learn here? So first we are going to be focused on your Python, right? This is going to be take at least 1 month for you, where we can able to, as I said you, right, we're going to learn the concept, we're going to implement the concept, as well as we are going to see the project development also, right? We are going to first focus for 30 days on this Python, and then we are going to learn about your Flash framework. Flash framework is going to help you how to develop an application, how APIs are going to be developed, how I'm going to test that particular API. So that we are going to see like 1-2 weeks for this Flash framework. Once your Flash framework is completed, we are going to learn about your Selenium. Once your Selenium is completed, we are going to see about your PyTest framework. We are going to see about your robot framework, and we are going to see about your Cucumber framework. So once that is completed, we are going to understand like how to deploy and test the application using your DevOps CI/CD tools. So this is also going to be part of your curriculum. So right, whatever I'm going to show on this entire slide, we are going to cover each one of that in your entire 55 to 60 days of duration of this program. Now, most of the people used to ask me like, Pratap, how long you are going to take to complete this course? So to complete this course, I need at least 55 to 65 days of duration. So daily 1 hour, the online session is going to be taken care, and the fees is going to be available for 13,500, and the mode is going to be complete a online mode. So once you complete this course, you are going to get a HD recording on daily basis, and these recordings are going to be available for your lifetime access. So if you have any questions, right, you can able to reach out me directly on my WhatsApp number, right? Or if you have the questions that are available on the yesterday's topic, right, please don't allow me to go forward. Make your questions to be clarified then and there. Make your doubts has been cleared on the same day. So don't drag it to the end of the day, right? So as a consumer, you have all the rights to ask me. I am here to clarify your doubts. So once you give approval for me, then only I'm going to start the new concept. And second thing, if your tasks are not going to be completed, I'm not going to take any new session. I want my students to should be very much in the concept that whatever I taught. If you're not strong in the concept whatever I taught in the yesterday, right? So my concepts are always going to be depend on the yesterday's concepts. If you're not strong in that, how can I proceed further? Right? So I always encourage my students to complete their task on the time if they're feeling or if they found anything is difficulty, right, I will connect with you and make you to be make think easily how to solve that problem. So don't worry in that. All I want from you is your commitment and dedication. Learn the concept, think, understand, implement it. If you face any issue, let me know, I'll solve the problem, right? So, and apart from this, once I complete my course, right, I'll be help you to how to prepare for your resume. I'll conduct your weekend workshop on your mock interviews. So till you get a job, please keep on raising, keep request me to conduct the mock interviews. But I also suggest you guys, once we complete your course, take 1 week of time, prepare thoroughly, put your resume on the Naukri, go and face your interviews, let it fail. So let it fail, keep a track of 3 to 4 interviews, bring all your interview questions and tell me that how you perform over there. We'll discuss it. If there is any wrong that you're going available on your answering part, right, I'll make it to correct that and make it to go and face the next interview, very okay. So now in such cases, right, definitely if you face 2 to 3 interviews, let it fail, and the fifth interview or fourth, sixth interview, right, you'll be definitely get a job. Okay, so we'll practice, we'll take it as a practice, we'll move on and we'll keep continuing for that. Okay, so all I want to hear from here is, so practice well, do the task on time, on daily basis, raise your questions, make your concepts are clear. So don't think too much that I'm not going to get a job. Don't go for a negative motivation. Think always that you can do. Never give up, guys. So that's it from my side. So whatever I want to cover, I have been covered everything. And this course is completely for a automation engineer who wants to settle in the good company with a good package.